Hi, loves. Welcome to a new episode of AW Confidential. If you watched episode 96, thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the feedback. It was a real blast. But I wanted to make it an even playing field. So I decided to invite some friends to offer a male perspective on dating, love, and relationships. We might or might not get into sex. We did right before the show started. Joining me in studio are three comedian writers, actors, and they're going to introduce themselves. But before they do that, today's Sips and Socials segment is brought to you by Sweetwater, New England Sweetwater. And this happens to be moonshine. And the glasses are by Ava Creations. And beautiful. As you guys know, before I start, I like to toast. So before my guys start their intros, I want to toast. First of all, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And congratulations on everything. And I chose this particular moonshine because it's family owned and women led, which is girl power for me. So toast to you guys. But before we do that, Dante.
My name is Dante Nero. I'm a comedian for over 20 years, actor for about 20, and I relationship guru. Been doing a podcast called Man School 202 for approximately coming up on 13 years, and I do consultations, one-on-one consultations with men, women, and otherwise.
Love that.
Hey, what's up? This is comedian Nick Alexander. I'm an actor, comedian, writer, producer, mostly stand-up, but I also write and produce my own projects and got some pilots and things in the work. I released my first comedy special this year. Nick Alexander Presents Nick Alexander, which you can find on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, via Comedy Dynamics.
Wow.
And yeah.
And you had a walk-on next, well, I don't know if you were next to Kim K, but...
Oh yes, I was. This year I was in American Horror Story with Kim Kardashian and Emma Roberts. I had a guest star, and that was very cool.
And Fen?
Hey, I go by the name Fun Size Fen, comedian Fen G, man. Been doing comedy for 14 years. Do comedy all clubs, colleges all over. Producer of the Spin the Block comedy show.
Caroline,
City Winery, Hollywood Improv, all the major clubs. That's where you'll find me. Just shot my third special, Delusion, at the Triad Theater. It was amazing, and I'm happy to be here with you, girl.
Yeah,
let's go.
Cheers to you guys. Cheers.
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 Salute.
So, first of all, need to know who's single, who's not. What's going on?
I'm single. Yes, I'm single. That's all you need to know?
That's all I need to know? For now.
For now.
I know. Did you want to announce it on here? Or? Oh, no. All right, I'm single then. If that's the case. I'm single.
Dante?
I'm married.
Oh, we have a married man. I love that. So when I sat with the girls, we talked about dating challenges. And this won't apply to you, but I'll get to you.
Yeah, but I probably know what the problem is. So.
We talked about dating apps, dating multiple people, ghosting, our 90-day rule, which most of us don't have, sex on the first night. So do you guys have any rules that you go by?
I go by great vibes, man. I don't really have no rules.
No rules?
Yeah, whatever happens,
Free for all?
Free for all.
Whatever happens?
If we feeling each other, it just happens, man. I don't like to plan too much.
So how about you go out, you meet a girl, have sex with her on the first night. Do you rule her out as potential wifey material because she slept with you on the first night?
No, not at all. I feel like we all, experiencing it together, We all going through it. I would never do that.
No judgment.
The only person that does that is somebody who's corny. Yeah. You're corny if you do, because a lot of the counseling and stuff I do is about what the inference is. And so if your inference is the fact that because she slept with you, she lacks value, right? What he's saying is because you slept with me, you would sleep with anybody else, which is really a reflection on what your own self-esteem is. Mm-hmm. Because there's plenty of people that would sleep with me, We was just talking about eating ass. There's a lot of girls that will eat somebody's ass. Don't mean that they eat everybody's ass. That's because they're sleeping
But a
with
lot
you.
of guys will assume.
Yeah, but that's because
But
they're clowns.
That's on them. That's on them. And if
That's
you're not
clown
secure,
shit.
yeah, you're gonna think like that's just very elementary. Honestly, for me, it's weird. Whenever I try to conventionally date somebody, it doesn't really work. But when I just like connect and hit it off with a chick, and usually like things will happen, you know, in the fashion which I like it. But conventionally dating, from traditional dating for me, is actually kind of tough, especially living out in LA. Like women are just very flaky. But when I happen to just hit it off someone, we kicking it, we moving around, we going to parties and doing different stuff like that. Usually tends to be a fun night. So yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Man, we got some modern guys here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All we have in this world is like time and memories and stories. It's like why waste that overthinking and doing all of that? You know what I'm saying?
I do have a rule of 3, and I think Dante gave me that early on too. Like 3 times. If after the third time, you move on.
So wait, what do you mean?
Like a call, 2 text messages. What's up? And if
I don't even do that.
You gave that up? You let that one go?
So like if I'm, so we're in a point of where communication is evident. You can't not get somebody. So there's no way I'm trying to get in contact with you, and you can't get in contact with me. There's so many ways. So if I'm calling you and you're not calling you back, I think so. I have 3 principles that I talk about all the time. It comes from an acronym of ACE. ACE is authenticity, credibility, and empathy. Always tell the truth. Always keep your word, and understand that the empathy that the empathy to know that other people have gone through things that you don't know, that you may not understand. So the reality is, but authenticity happens on both ends of the spectrum. If I call you and you don't call me back, it's because you don't want to. You have no desire
People
to
make
speak to
time
me.
for what
They make
really
time.
important.
And so if you're not calling me back, now there's a possibility you could be busy. I could have called. You could have missed the text or whatever, and that's a possibility. I called you. Oh, my bad, and whatever. But if you've made an effort to communicate with somebody and you call them and they see your missed call or whatever, and it's because they don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, it's a hard lesson, but like I've over the years, especially when I was younger and I didn't understand it. Talking to Dante, like when you really set like a principle for yourself, you don't get disappointed as much. You just kind of like, okay, this is what it is.
And
move
it's
on.
honest. It's honest.
Yeah.
Like I've known Nick since he was a young 19, and I've been counseled him and stuff throughout the game. And the reality is the honesty that you have to have with somebody is the same honesty that you have to have with yourself.
Fact.
Somebody's not calling you, it's because they don't want to talk to you.
I've become a lot cuter since my special came out.
Have you really?
Yeah, I'm a lot more. Hey dimples, hey handsome, absolutely. Since the special in my
They know
TV
your
show
value.
this year, I'm all of a sudden, it wasn't like that last
I've
year.
been feeling a lot taller myself. I'm not gonna lie. Lately, I've been feeling a lot taller.
So you feel the more clout you get, the more attractive you get?
No, I always felt like I was extremely attractive. I just
You
feel
feel
like
tall?
Yeah, I just feel like there's just more awareness. But then again, I'm probably putting myself out there more as well. So then it's like a mutual. The universe loves me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we live in a modern world, and I'm curious, what do you guys think about dating apps? Because we spoke a lot about dating apps.
It's another resource. It's just another resource. It's just I think you're talking about.
But do you think it gives us too many options?
You just don't answer.
I don't have any success with the free shit, and I've never paid on the dating apps to do a profile like a real. I've just done the free shit, and the free shit is just whack. So I can't say that
it's
works.
free.
I respect.
Yeah, but
I respect dating apps for certain people, but I love the wild, like going outside.
Just meeting someone,
yeah,
right?
like having
Yeah.
organic
I'm IRL,
conversation,
for
saying
sure.
hi, saying hello. I feel like the apps
connection.
is like it's like messing up the connection, So you just it's a little fickle to me.
I love to hear that from a man, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird thing is because I've been doing even before. So my background is I know it doesn't look like it, but I was a male stripper for 10 years from.
Damn.
89,
You could an episode just on that.
89 to 99, I was a male stripper.
Maybe I
and then I
bumped into
was
you in
I
one of
was
those
I was I was pimping for 6 years. So a guy hired me because I knew all the female strippers because I was one of the top dudes in the male strip. Yo, can you manage the club? And I was like, stop tricking in the club. You got to stop tricking. Like I was fighting
value
them,
for yourself, girl.
And then I was like, well, if y'all really want to fuck for money, let's
Let's take it out.
let's take it outside.
Let's go outside.
I would say this though with the apps though. I think it's being created now because it's hard to. I feel like a lot of people are so disconnected where people don't even. You say hi, oh my God, like you can't call in, or you this, or you that. Nobody's like approachable
weird?
anymore.
Why are you talking
Why are
to
you
me?
weird?
Absolutely.
Like, so you're making it hard for men just to have a natural conversation. Luckily,
That's true.
I'm delusional, so I still like enter these pockets, but it's hard. Like I see it, headphones on, you're walking, going to work, this, that. They don't want to have a
Don't
normal
look 'em in the eye.
but yet they want to go home in the safety and like a picture, and it's like, but we just seen each other in person, you know? It's like,
Wow, that's
it's
a really
hard.
good point.
It's
That's
hard.
I find a lot of young dudes who I consult will go. They will call a relationship because they're DMing back and forth. So the young dudes are really under this impression. In fact, if they're communicating with somebody online, that it's a relationship. And one of the things what you were saying is about this inability to talk.
Connect, yeah.
I tell guys right away, you are to get off the app. Like if you make the connection, the first thing you should do is exchange phone numbers. The second thing you should do is FaceTime, and you should have a conversation. And then and I hear young dudes say this all the time. Women don't like to talk. They don't want to pick up the phone, and they don't text. Well, then you don't talk to them. Like you have to have, if you're going into, like you gotta understand that any social interaction is a negotiation. And part of and it's easy, relationships work real easy. You just got to know what your non-negotiables are and then never negotiate them. And if my negotiation is that I need to speak to you on the phone and you're going, oh, I don't talk on the phone, then we done, moving on.
That's it.
If you allow that and go, well, okay, I'm going to compromise. First of all, ultimately you want to have, every guy wants to have sex if I'm attracted
That's
to you.
the prize.
I want
that's a
to
great
have
prize.
sex with
It's
you.
the icing on
It's
the
a great
cake.
prize.
Icing on the cake.
I've said that all the time. If all you got is pussy, that's all I want. And if you got more, I want that too. But you're going to have to show me some value before I see you as something. And you're not doing me a favor by fucking me.
Nope.
You're not giving me anything. It's a
Because you
mutual.
can get it anywhere else.
It's funny. There's a podcast with nothing but studs, and they're like, "Yo, it's mad tiring." Like, yeah. This is something that you never took advantage of, even considered, because you've been laying on your back starfishing and then judging somebody's behavior.
Being a pillow princess.
I've never had somebody fuck me the way I fucked them. Never.
A pillow princess?
Pillow princess.
What the hell is a pillow
You
princess?
just lay down there and like that, and then you just take what the guy's doing to you. You don't fuck back. There's a lot of women that do that.
So we're talking about sex, and I want to move away from sex a little bit.
Well, I just wanted to say the point is, it's just logic. If you ultimately you want the relationship to be intimate, if you have somebody that's not going to take a phone call from you, then
how
why would they
intimate
kiss
can
you?
Yeah.
And if they're not going to kiss you, why would they blow you? Why would they have sex? There's a natural progression, and if somebody's not willing to have that natural progression, why are you wasting your time?
But how about if I told you today, 2024, we connect differently than we did?
You don't. You
No.
don't. You do.
Even after COVID, after the pandemic.
None of that.
That's the overthinking.
People was on COVID not using condoms. They were wearing masks.
They had
and fucking
pandemic
not
boyfriends.
condoms. Like,
I know a
it's
few.
just-
I know several people. They got into a relationship, lockdown. They in the crib doing it, and they was just, operating differently because that was the options that they had.
I don't want to say no, but is that something that you've been listening to and receiving from the side? Because I actually want to dive deep into that.
But so we went into lockdown.
Sure.
And we were connecting via FaceTime, via Zoom
dates, right?
Sure.
Zoom dates.
Sure.
So we spent it's a blur, but almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now we have to go back out there, and I just don't feel like, let's go back to how everything used to be pre-COVID. Okay. I understand that human beings need connection, but I think the way we're connecting is different.
What specifically is different?
For example, I don't go out as much. So
if you got a guy, if I'm talking to you and we have a conversation and we're on the phone and I say, let's go to dinner, you're not gonna go out to dinner with me.
I think about it twice.
So you just don't go So you just a germaphobe. You were like a weirdo, right? So
You were a recluse.
No,
how do you?
no,
How do you
I am
propose
just. I'm
to-
more careful about
I get that, but
my
if-
interactions outside of.
ultimately, eventually, if this is somebody you want to build a life, you got to go out on a date with them.
That's true.
So
but it
wh-
takes me a little longer.
I think, but it
takes me longer.
I think it has to be quicker though.
Is
Quicker?
that?
I
Is
think
that-
if somebody's
you know how
taking-
many weirdos there are
if
out
somebody's
there?
taking a while to ask you out on a date or you got a
Oh.
vet, it's too long. It's like if they don't ask you out within the first like 3 days,
3 days?
I don't feel like they serious, to be honest. Like,
First
it don't have to
of
be
all-
nothing expensive, but yo, let's kick it somewhere. Let's be outside.
First of all, if
like,
a dude's not, a girl will turn against you because you don't act her out. Because if she likes you and you're not responding with her affection, women are not built for rejection. Throughout the period of time, we have always been the person who put ourselves
You're
out
the
there.
hunters.
So
Yeah.
that's from your inception of you, when you look at somebody's booty in 3rd grade and you go, ooh, you
Like the chase.
It was 3rd grade.
Right.
You
Getting good at the
practice
chase. Yeah.
getting that, and you know you have to ask and you have to
That's
be
true,
rejected.
yeah.
So here's the thing, but women have never had that. They've always been able to women trap, they don't hunt. You set up the thing, you get your hair
No
done, you
traps
sit,
here,
I like
honey.
that.
No
And you-
traps here.
No bear
you
traps?
two,
No,
there's
just
no,
honey.
Just honey.
Here's
honey.
the crazy thing about
It's
that.
a trap right there. I
women
got right already. It's
Women
like,
will
honey.
always talk about
That's
how
what
they're
I'm
different.
smelling. God.
Women will
Go
always
on.
talk about how they're so different. You're not different. You're all the same, just like all men are the same. Men do the same thing. Women do the same. Everybody thinks. I mean, human beings think that they're unique in their name, but nobody takes a shit facing the tank. Like, we all do it the same way. What I'm not saying that there's not slight differences, but the way there is something called behavioral psychology, which is a study of how patterns in which human beings act. You're not different than that. There's a whole science involved in that. So I get that you may be apprehensive, but ultimately, if you want an intimate relationship with somebody, you want to connect with, you have to go out with
we
them.
gotta go out.
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
Not
You-
after three conversations.
But no,
it doesn't
but
have
it's
to
like,
be nothing crazy. We got
So-
can't get coffee after 3 days.
Okay,
That's
call-
talking
wild.
or
You-
calling.
It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Like we get.
Can you
coffee.
FaceTime? Would you FaceTime?
Probably not.
Yeah, well, you don't want
This is why we didn't work out. This is why, because how you
What you're saying is, and maybe I'm misunderstanding.
No,
that
probably not, but go ahead. I'm saying what I'm saying.
you're saying that this is how I'm interpreting it
Sure.
in my brain.
Go ahead.
That there's a balance of power, and the man has a little more say in the dance that is being done.
You don't like a guy that you could do anything with him, that's just going to do what you want him to do, that you don't respect him. What you respect is the fact that he upgrades your life. You gonna meet, I say this anytime I date somebody, and I'm 58, and I still get the little 20-year-olds we sniffing around, and you've been where they be like, oh, I love your jewelry. I'm like, you should run.
Run
I'ma eat
immediately.
your booty and ruin your life.
Right.
Go,
Run immediately.
run. My point is that if you can't learn, if you got a man and you can't learn nothing from him, and he can't upgrade you and teach you things, and I'm not saying that I don't learn things from women also, but what I'm saying, the prerequisite is that a man has to be better than the woman. She's not going to take a dude who's her equal because, I could do bad by myself. And she's not going to take somebody who's lesser than.
Nope.
So there's just no attraction in that. You admire the guy because, and don't get me wrong, what I'm saying is,
Right.
better is a relative term.
Right.
Yeah.
It's what you think is better.
But women like the stimulation.
Yeah, what,
sure.
like,
You
why
have
would
to
I?
like that.
Where does the attraction come from if you're not intrigued by me?
Your last relationship, what was his type?
What was his type?
Like what was
it
his
ended 'cause
like
they wouldn't FaceTime.
aura?
She wouldn't even come to the Zoom day dressed up.
She
She
wouldn't
came
come
in her
to-
bathrobe. He like, I'm
She's
off
on the
this.
Zoom with no camera on, right?
Right. She
he
was just
like-
like, you can hear me. Just imagine what I look like.
Extremely intelligent, successful.
Better than you.
Patient. He was patient.
I am both.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but
Yeah,
he's
that's true.
better. It's
I wouldn't say
it's
that's
not
better.
Yeah, you would. You
No,
absolutely
I
would. Because if a guy is less intelligent and you don't call him intelligent. By the nature of your description, says that he's more intelligent. Because he impressed you, right? Something he said impressed you to say, oh, he's intelligent.
I always say if you can turn me on up here, you can.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's every
Penetrate
woman.
the mind.
That's every
Yeah.
woman. That's
Yeah.
every woman.
No.
That's every woman. Every woman is it's different. Look, don't get me. I'm saying it's a sliding scale. There's attractive. If you got a dude who's gorgeous, 6-pack.
I've done that and nothing upstairs.
Exactly.
That lasts about.
This is what I'm saying.
I went to
but
college.
I'm saying he can't. You know, you don't want him looking like you don't want him looking like a burn victim either.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? You don't want him. You know.
You don't want
But
that.
you. It's a slide thing.
Penn
It's
State
how
University.
attractive is he? How ambitious? How interesting is he? How funny is he? All of those things are, you know, in retrospect, and you
3.5
decide.
GPA.
What'd you say, Finn?
What you say?
I'm just
Okay.
If women don't know what they want, their pussy does. That's the bottom
That
line.
is not absolutely not.
That is absolutely true.
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna challenge you on
Yeah,
that one.
let's
That
go.
is not true.
Let's go. This is not my first
Yeah,
rodeo.
Women don't know what they want their pussy do.
Yeah, because attraction.
She's thinking about it. I think she's leaning towards the
I
pussy.
think I got
her.
because because attraction is visceral. It's not a list that you write down on paper. You can write that. Oh, I want him to have this. I want him to yeah. And then when the dude comes, that's got the swagger and your pussy get wet, you don't have no control over that. It is.
Yes, you have control
No, you
over
don't.
that.
It's what
Absolutely you do.
How do you have control over what you find attractive?
Okay, I don't have to act on it, but I can find it attractive.
Right, but
Okay.
but you still are attracted to it. If I ask you,
that's fair.
if you like chocolate ice cream, I ask you why you like chocolate ice cream. You can't. It's not something that you describe. It's something that you feel. Well, what about it do you like? You
It's
know, you
innate-
could.
it's innately like that.
It's visceral. So attraction is visceral. I totally get to the point where that you should be mature enough to understand that just because I'm attracted to this dude and he's slinging drugs or whatever, you go, yeah, let me not. This is not maybe the best, but that doesn't change your attraction. We're not talking about making
Okay.
decisions.
That's fair.
So what I'm saying, you know what you want when you have this idea. Oh, I want this guy. He got to have this car. He had it. All of that. That was my biggest problem with Kevin Samuels. That he put it on.
The high value man on the.
He put it on a plane as if it's not emotional, and it is emotional. All relationships are emotion, and when you allow emotion to have a seat at the table, you will never make the right decision. You have to make the decision from a logical, reasonable aspect. So you got to step back from that and make the decision. If you're into it, you can't. The minute you are emotional, and that means any emotion. That means ego. It means fear. That means love. You can count on your brain reducing its proficiency down to a third, because everything is clouded.
But guys,
Pussy, right?
But
Yeah.
guys,
It's a feeling. It's
When-
a feeling. The attraction is a feeling.
When you finally do go on that date, right? How quick do you know if you're gonna be intimate with the person?
damn, wait, I'm asking the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I'll get
Okay.
back to you on that one.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's a good question. You know why?
It-
Because it denotes the fact that she's never been asked those questions.
Yep.
And because she's attractive, guys put up with her bullshit and then let her yap about whatever
Yeah,
the fuck
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
And
Like,
then,
I'm not this
and the
type.
man, like, yeah, okay, whatever.
You're
I mean,
lucky you're getting this Zoom date.
yeah, it's like, and anytime I see it, it's like I've had plenty of experience and all of that yappity yap. It's a visceral feeling. And I'm not saying, like, one of the things that I say when I talk about the empathy is you said about creeps. Creepy dude, like, women have to consider every time that they go out whether or not this guy might murder you. Like
That's
that's
fair.
a concern that you could get
Right.
sexually assaulted. And so
Absolutely.
that's something that we as men never think about.
No.
But what if men all of a sudden recognize that was a consideration, right? There's a lot of things that they wouldn't do that they do.
Yep.
Because you're not even, you don't have the empathy to understand that her insecurity comes from real danger and real fear. So
trauma.
You can and trauma.
Yeah.
And how many women do we know? Is it 1 in 4 women have been molested or essayed or whatever?
When you get into them deep talks, majority of the girls, they went through
assault,
molest when they were younger.
But we're also finding out men have too, and they just haven't spoken about it.
Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely. But I mean, the point is, as a man, we are also taught, I know you get over it. Let's move on.
Right.
You don't get to sit. It's nice when you get that, but you have to take that. If you take that empathy in consideration that this woman might have went through trauma, and my assumption is always the case that, and I don't know any woman, even if it hasn't been actual out and out, penetration or something like it. There's always somebody's always done something. Some dirtbag dude who felt like because he was stronger, he could do what he wants to do. And I think when you take that, as much as I tend to be harsh about, like when I hear your rules and I'm like, all right, she's yapping. But to the same token, I understand what your plight is as a woman, that I couldn't imagine being in a situation where my consideration was, I really like this guy. He's good looking. It's this, that, and the other. But he might murder me. Like,
yeah, or do some real creepy shit.
Since you're asking, like, you asked us the question in the panel, and I think what we were trying to say collectively is like we prefer, interaction, live engagement, off the apps, just being present, and let's experience whatever the fuck we experiencing together in real time. And that's all.
But
I would not have guessed that. Thank you for sharing that.
You also got to understand that, though, that there is the way we engage and get to the point where there's real interactions. I mean, technology is something that's not going to go nowhere. The apps ain't going to go nowhere. But the point is that at the core of when you decide that this person is viable enough, I expect to talk to you on the phone.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
totally fair.
And
we
women
get
are
a phone call
disappointing
from you? Because I want to hear your voice. I mean, here's the thing. I want to hear your voice.
How you think?
I want to hear your tone, the tone of your. I want to hear your inflection. How do I? If I'm really pursuing you in good faith, then I want to get to know you.
Yeah.
Like, why would I not want to hear your voice?
It's what makes us hate texting, because it's like,
You hate texting?
I prefer to talk. Now, when I do have engaging conversations with women where the text messages go good and we're like asking each other deep stuff, it's like, it's cool, but it's like, I still prefer to like hear us out and your thought process, your experiences, your past shit, where you at now with things. Like, I can't get that in a text, and I hate feeling like you gotta like, it's like mental gymnastics sometimes with women.
And then when I'm misrepresented, I'm an asshole because because you didn't get on the phone. Yeah, I'm not even going, like, I'm 58. I'm not going to do that. It's like, this is dumb shit.
I don't want to type paragraph.
That young motherfuckers do that you don't have to do. If you don't want to talk, if you not want to communicate, how you going to fuck me if you don't want to communicate with me? You can't take a phone call, but you want to, like, it's absurd. And it's okay if you don't like me, if I'm not your type.
Just say that. Just say, yo, I don't like you. Cool. Done. I can take the rejection. We can take the rejection.
They don't think.
Well, I mean, that all depends, because a lot of dudes can't take it. If you get a guy and he's on an app, and this is no reflection, the guy is 5'4", and he lies and says he's 5'6".
5'5".
And he wears snapbacks
right?
with muscle shirts.
The reason why he puts 5'6" is because he thinks 5'4" is not good enough. In his mind, he doesn't think he's good enough. So if I could just be 2 inches taller, I'll be good enough. But the point is,
but he's also heard a lot of TikTok videos where women say, my cutoff height is 5'5", so if you're not 5'5", you can't even.
That's why you don't listen to women. That's why I don't never listen to women when it comes to relationships. If you want to know how to hunt a deer, you ask the hunter. You don't ask the deer.
For a day.
I'm just very particular. Thank you very much.
Yes,
not me, but a real person that really wants you though, and that's aggressive and like very attentive, we gonna make it work. I don't care how you trying to hide.
Or you gonna have to tell me no. You gonna have to tell me I'm not. I'm coming at you.
No creeping way, but I'm gonna find you.
I'm coming at you right up. Bam, bam, bam. So what's up?
Yeah,
and if you giving me that, I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
you don't like me? Well, I didn't say. Well, look, let's figure it out, because you're gonna be. I'm calling you to the mat. What it is, because I don't want. And guys will say this. Well, I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want to Wait, I don't care about your time. I don't like you yet. I care about your time.
I like the idea of you, but I don't like you.
When you're part of my life, I care about your time. But I'm not going to let you waste my time because you got your particular hang-ups. I'll deal with it. We could talk and we got to air it out. But that's the problem. You get dudes who don't understand what their value is. So they're willing to put up whatever if she's.
But women do the same thing. Women do the same thing.
I agree.
They put up with all types of shit.
But you don't pursue.
That is.
You don't have to pursue.
You're not hitting the guy. You're not calling the guy. You're not DMing or texting. Or if you see him at this event, you're not going to him to make a move.
Not only that, but you know if you fucking with a dude that ain't shit. You just have made
that's true.
You have gave him bail money to go. Well, he's cute enough, his dick's big enough, he fucked me right, and I'll overlook these things. But you know all the red flags.
I'll tell you one. I appreciate honesty. So if you told me off the jump, listen, I'm not dating right now. I'm not attracted to you right now. Cool, I'll leave it alone. Be blunt. Be straightforward. Tell me, and then we good.
So Dante mentioned something that was, I think that
I'm not 5'4", I'm 5'5". Fuck Dante.
I'm
tired of the shit. Yeah, my feet is swinging right now.
With the shoes, you 5'5".
Women are super attentive, and they have an
like
intuitive.
cats.
They get it. They get
see everything.
And if there's incongruency, then you're a liar. But this is what guys don't understand. And I'll tell Nick all the time, you got to be honest. Because
but that's one of the things. Guys, I don't want to say guys. That I hate generalizing.
Yeah,
Some men are just not honest. They either have you running in a maze,
and that's not,
or breadcrumbing.
Yeah,
and for guys, which camera am I looking at? For guys that are not honest, there's mad cameras here, by the way. But with camera, all right. For guys that are not honest, get your shit together, man. The more honest you are up front, man, it just makes the table perfect, all right? Or not perfect, but it's the best. Or not. But exactly, but just be honest, fellas. Stop the cap. Stop. If you got just say what it is. It just makes it more organic, and it eliminates waste of time.
And we don't have a lot of that.
Yes, that's all, man.
So one of the things Dante mentioned was red flags.
Okay.
I know I have a whole list. Okay. And I have them because I have bypassed them many times throughout my life. What, can you name 2 red flags?
Somebody that won't get on the phone with me.
Nice callback, everybody. Okay. That's a callback if you don't know.
Get on the fucking phone.
You're not going to get on the phone with me.
I will consider that going forward. I will think about this.
Yeah, that's wild.
Red flag for me is women who don't know how to control their liquor. I've had some experiences with some girls who get so drunk, don't know how to act out, and just really can make like some situations difficult. So that's a thing for me.
Drama in public?
Yeah, especially uptown women, Bronx chicks.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm talking to you. So really, like a woman who knows how to conduct herself in public. That's a big thing for me.
Wow.
Like if you really like make a night stressful, whatever like that, I kind of like pull back. I'm like, even if I like it, it's not worth it, because when you went
to one of your places,
a comedy show, and they drunk, they acting up, and then my boy's like, yo, what's up with your chick, man? I do not want to deal with that. I experienced that, and I'm like, nah.
I would say this: if you had a phone call before.
But you won't know she an alcoholic or binge on the coke until
What the heck?
Look, if you're talking,
right.
So I know this sounds like
you asking her like, yo, you do drugs?
I never met
you on that booger sugar?
Listen, I never met a woman who don't tell you what she wants. If you ask, she gonna tell you what she wants. And I never met a woman who don't want to talk about herself. If you're asking questions, she gonna tell you whatever you want. You can ask women things in a way that's flowery and open-ended, and they will tell you. And this is what you're supposed to be doing. If you from that conversation, you should be discerning. You should
evaluating.
You should be profiling. You should be like a serial killer. They have a what do they call it? A profile.
Right.
Because it's not just because I'm being deceptive, but if you have a shellfish allergy, and I'm trying to get you out, and I say, let's go to dinner. You go to dinner, and I haven't found out that you have a shellfish allergy, and then I take you to Bob's Seafood, right? I've already fucked up this whole idea of what women call chemistry. It's bullshit.
No butterflies.
It's preparation.
But yeah,
It's if I'm present and I'm listening, you gonna tell me everything I want to know, so I know how to set up the date.
and you gotta be organically yourself too, so we can get that information. I hate someone capping or trying to be somebody they're not just to make me like them. I want to know that you don't like this, you don't like that, so I can just.
So is that a red flag for you?
Nah. My only red flag is if somebody treat me like an option, cause like I know my value. Not that many people know their value. So if you just
Fan,
treat
you the
me
prize? You the prize, fan? Do you ask her
You
what
the
they bring to the
table?
table? Are you the
You
table,
the-
the chair,
No.
the
When
spoon, the
I
spork
say that,
spoon?
when I say that, because it sounds funny, but when I say it does sound
No,
bad.
you-
But when it's saying out loud,
No, I mean,
but I'm like
you know
I
your
do
value.
I do have an ego, and I sometimes I walk like I suppress it a little bit, but I know I just don't bring it out. But if you just say, oh no, I got man, stop, just stop. You know, and that's just me though, you know, and it took over time, like years to get this way. So it's like, it just feels a way because it's like, all right, go, like, let's not waste each other's time. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only red flag. But other than that, just be you. Even if you tell me, I respect that. Yo, I like this person, I like this person. All right, cool. We just here. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right. You with James Harden. I ain't tripping.
Be here for real. Keep it
Big
buck.
man.
I respect
Man,
that.
let me tell you something. When I have to compete with the athlete, ooh, I don't be mad though. I'm cool. I stay cool. Like,
Yeah, but them niggas is corny.
Them niggas-
They
most of them
corny.
corny.
Yo, all them dudes is corny.
Yeah.
Even when you know, I was talking to somebody.
You could
about
be
the
a lame
whole-
nigga with money is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't unlame a lame.
You. Here's the thing. You know the whole Rick Ross, Drake, all of that. You know what? That's really at the core.
About some chicks.
That's about all of them dudes fucking the same 30 chicks.
Right.
It's all of them smashing the same chicks and hating on this one, because they all cornballs.
And
When you
pillow
get down,
talking.
they got money, but they cornballs.
Testosterone.
And they're inauthentic. They have this level of control. Their head is big, and so now because their head is big and they have this control, women have told them that they have value that they really don't have.
Oh, they got the false. That's the
then all you
worst.
know,
Because now they stuck
look
in a
at that
matrix that they don't even know they're in.
Well, then,
What's another red flag for you besides the phone? Like a true red flag.
If her mom's crazy.
Oh, go on.
If her mom's crazy,
that goes for men and women.
that's anybody. I
Why?
mean,
Why is
the
that?
majority of the stuff that I counsel guys with, women, men, otherwise, is directly related to your parents' inability to be good parents. And I, especially as black people in general, like if you think about this, the fact that so slavery started 1619. You have full slavery up until before the country was even the country.
America, right.
It was America. Then you have 250 years of slavery, right? Trauma, rapes, burnings, people getting their. So
Then we go to Jim Crow.
Then you got Jim Crow, right? Then you have Nixon and the civil rights
Board of
movement,
Ed.
and then you have
Oh yeah, we smart out here. We know dates.
all the way up until Ronald Reagan, the welfare moms, and the crack epidemic. So my thing is this: if you got a guy who goes to Iraq or goes to Desert Storm, and he comes back, what do they talk about? Post-traumatic stress, right? That you have been through this, so you need to get professional help to get you back. And some people never get back.
Nope.
So if you think about people of color in general, they have been traumatized since their inception on this country.
Absolutely.
And then they've been raised by people who've been traumatized. And while they were raised by people who were traumatized, they had their own trauma. When you talk about slavery, then Jim
Facts.
Crow.
Collective
And
trauma.
so where is
Systemic
the point
racism.
where somebody where the people of color not had to deal with this constant stress of being traumatized
I
over
hear
and
that.
over again? And
I
so,
receive that.
and we're talking about people who are sick and traumatized, raising people who are being traumatized and who are sick in generations and generations.
I see
And so the dating pool is a result of that.
Well, I think
That's
one of
crazy,
the
but
things
that's
that's
a great
helping is we're
breakdown.
being more open about mental health, and we're being more open about
Yeah.
therapy.
Right,
It's in
right.
the
I've been in
diaspora. You see it on
therapy
TV shows. You
But
see it
I
on
say-
film. Now
I
it's more
say- I
reflected
say
in our
what-
art, in our conversations, on social media.
Sure, but this is new.
And even
Right, it's very new.
you're
This
right,
is
you're
really
right.
new.
Because even hearing men talk about their mental health is something that
We've had
to-
talks about that, yeah, for sure.
I've
that you would never even think,
I
because
know.
we
Yeah.
because we hide it and you
But
push it down.
I think we all need to walk towards our problems, like walk
Absolutely.
towards our, because what everybody's searching for an escape. They search for escape, and then
No.
when they get back from the escape, it's the problem's still there.
Problem's still there.
You gotta always go towards that shit, and then that's the real way to build. So even if you're meeting somebody in a relationship, I would prefer someone come healed, or someone come as like address their shit and not running and not pointing blame and taking accountability. I would prefer that. But if they're not there, the way they'll see me, because I'm fully there. Like I press my parents like, yo, why y'all wasn't at the football? Like amazing. Like so I would love if they came with that same amount of accountability. And that would be fire.
It's a different generation.
It's
Yeah, it's
right. It's
different, yeah, it's
like
different.
The women now, sometimes they'll just be like, I'm dealing with a lot right now, right? And then me, like I said, if we're not, hooking up, I'm always considered I'm your friend. Like I can be your friend,
Right.
and you can talk to me. So I'd want to know, what are you dealing with? Then they don't want to really talk about it,
Right.
and it's like,
that's your end, son.
Well,
Like,
You know what's so
I-
crazy? I said it the other day. I said, listen, regardless about the relationship, as a friend, I care about you, and I want you to be good. I want you to be at peace. I want, like, that's just as a friend, of just core.
It's
regardless
another
of all the
human
other-
being.
Yeah, another human being. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like, people don't even have that anymore.
right.
But everybody's not like that.
But because
Everybody's
people manipulate, like for example, like the
Yeah.
check on you thing. Some men use it as manipulation, right? When I truly asked, like, hey, because it was a couple of days, something happened, we couldn't link up, whatever, and then I wait a week, whatever, I'm checking on you. Hey, how are you doing? Hope the week was kind to you, right?
Yeah.
Mom genuinely want to know that I hope things have been better from what you explained to me was kind of keeping you down, keeping you whatever. But there's some men who actually use that as a way to like manipulate their feelings and
True.
emotions of their perception of them.
Don't be
Thank
shy,
you,
guys.
family.
Don't be
By the way,
shy.
this is Moon Not Moonshine. This is really great.
And
Yes.
Ben loves it.
Ben loves it.
Shit, please grab
Thank you, family. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. I'll take some too.
So, and I really appreciate you guys bringing up mental health and generational trauma, because
Yeah.
I honestly did not start talking about it maybe till I want to say a decade ago.
What's your nationality?
Dominican.
You're Dominican. Okay, so
Right by that, right neighbors.
Here's something that's really interesting
neighbor.
about I
Hey,
found
neighbor.
about
Hey,
Latino
neighbor.
women. Latino women are over sexualized, but then underheard.
Yeah.
So like you're Latino women a lot of times is, oh, she's so sexy, she's so this, blah, 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 right?
Feisty.
It's that, but then you are you for expressing your sexuality, then you get demeaned because you express
Absolutely.
yourself, and so there's this mixed
Catch
kind of
22.
thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Same thing
doing their
it
dance.
happens a lot of times. Like I'll counsel a lot of Africans, a lot of Indians, a lot of Mexicans. Well, what'll happen is because there's this immigration survival thing. Like especially like people will get the Asians I get a lot of they be like, get your degree, get the this because you're talking to somebody, parents who are on survival mode. They just want you to get your education, but they have never really understood what it is to, in terms of self-fulfillment, like defining what happiness is. And so they're living their life for their parents who ain't happy in the first place. They don't even know how to get to square one of happiness. And then because we also have this, well, this is my parents, I gotta listen to them. We're talking about an idea of this living up to this white gaze and living survival and stuff. And then you're looking at somebody who's giving you advice on who you should get married to. You're too old, you're too fat, you got to get scared. Indian families, the worst.
No, Asians
Yeah.
too, man.
We-
Yo, they're so
they're-
mean to their kids. Like,
and
yo,
it's nothing about happiness.
Yeah.
It's about achievement. It's about survival.
Yeah.
And I get that because that's the mode, but we're just at a place where we start to go, well, what is happiness?
Like I'm the generation,
Yeah.
my family, that I'm not trying to live up to the expectations of my parents.
Fact.
I chased my own dream.
Yeah.
At
Fact.
18, I decided I wanted to do comedy. I wanted to entertain,
Fact.
and I did not care about education first, job security first. I
Yeah.
pursued my passion
Hell
first.
yeah.
And
Look at you glowing.
however long it takes me to get there. But my grandmother came to this country in 1966. Immigrant,
Surviving.
married, older dude that she,
Yeah.
with toxic. My grandfather was a little toxic. had to go through that situation of being a young woman, not really like learning what's good for her, then figuring out her own survival, raising my mother, but she had to work, take care of the family, bring family over from Haiti.
They never taught us how to be bosses, bro.
Yeah.
Be fair.
Yeah.
Never
Well, they
taught,
did.
No, they did,
taught
but
us how
just
to work and survive.
Right, in a
Work and
different, but that's
survive.
still
Different way.
boss.
But it's still boss. My grandmother is still the boss because if not for her, none of the family's here. So she did the boss shit by sending for this person, putting them in through school, putting them through job security, living with her, then until you figure out where in this country do you fit in, or do you want to go to Canada or whatever like that. So there's that kind of boss, but she couldn't think about a passion or a creative thing. She had to work.
Now, like my mom went to,
Same.
she did like one semester of
Likewise.
college, and then she was like, "Oh, you guys, we were all so unhappy with the sitter, we were suffering."
Right.
And she said, "I'm gonna have to stay home," and she left school to make sure we got what we needed. So
no, again, all our parents are the same in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, they taught us what they knew.
right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Right, the best that they could
The
do.
best
Now-
they could with what they
Now
had.
the best that we can do is protect our energy and try to move forward
That's a
and
good
like
point.
change the cycle. Like I have a beautiful apartment in Harlem. I don't. It's crazy. My parents are gonna see this, but I don't invite my family over. I know the energy that brings. I know what their expectations are, this and that.
Yeah.
And I just no, because I'm still, like you said, healing or still trying to
still
build
trying
it,
to get- you're
try to
on
get
your feet,
do my thing.
Yeah.
So it's like we're not gonna do that right now. I'll come when I'm ready. I'll have you come when I'm ready, but we're not doing
Protect your
that.
peace.
You gotta protect it because they don't give a fuck about it. Nobody, not even family, just friends. They don't care about
Right.
you trying to be the best version of you.
Because they're still trying to figure themselves out,
Right.
and they're not even
Right.
on a place where they're trying to figure it out. They are reactional. So whatever information they're reacting to it. You know the old saying, "Blood's thicker than water," right? That's not the true saying. If you look up the real saying, the real saying is the blood of the covenant is more important than the water of the womb. Right, which means the total opposite of blood thicker than water. The blood of the covenant. This is a covenant. This is something that we have decided to come together and have discussions.
Right.
That is the blood of the covenant. The water of the womb is who your sister is, who your mama is, who you are. Which what they're saying is weaker than the water of the womb because just all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Yeah.
And just because somebody's your relative doesn't mean that they mean the best for you.
Yeah.
And when they've
I
gone
just
through,
heard something about.
Wow.
Did you play something?
That
Yo,
is
that's
interesting.
crazy.
I
But
experienced
it's
that
facts.
this year. Cousin I grew up with, loved him like a brother. You know, we had like he was living with me, and then just one day out the blue moves out, doesn't give me a heads up, just kind of does his own thing. And it was hard for me to accept it because I'm thinking like he wouldn't do that to me,
Right.
or a family wouldn't do that to me. But it can happen there. And then you have people who, at certain points in life, especially with stand up, right? So like Dante knows this, Fen knows this. There are some comedians who you maybe enter the game with, or even on your journey, at one point you guys might be tighter, thicker than thieves. Then like you go on a trajectory, he goes this way, but then there's always like a mutual love there. And then it's like, and then there's somewhere it's just like for maybe a pocket of time, they might have been your closest homie, but they might have done something for you that you'll remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And because of that, you will accept the fact that maybe we're not on the greatest of terms, but I know that at this one point when I was at a low or whatever like that, I remember that you did this for me, and that's something that nobody else has ever done. And you will keep them there.
that's also
That's
a very masculine thing.
Yeah.
Like if you
Yeah.
help me move a couch, then you my man.
Right.
Yeah.
Because most people don't
Forever.
come and help you move when you get your own
But
spare.
it doesn't cost you anything to be kind. And in that, but being in that kind of that honesty is the thing. Women find honesty the most attractive thing ever.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not honest, when I tell you I love you, how can you believe me if I don't
love
have
how
the
you
credibility
did that
of
just
my
now.
word is? If I tell you I got your back, you can't believe me if I've lied. And the lies.
I wish more men knew that.
The
I wish
lies
they
are.
did too, though.
Men, are you listening? Are you listening, men?
And here's the thing: the lie is not just, "Hey, I don't really want to be in a relationship. I want to smash other chicks." It could be that, right? And it should be that, but it also is, how do I look in this dress? It doesn't
I got
really
lipstick
flatten
on
you.
my teeth.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Or me
Right?
being,
You're dragging it,
You
fam.
see the concern?
or being honest enough just because I don't want to end up in I have to be willing to be honest even if what I'm saying ends up in a confrontation.
Absolutely.
So guys will most guys are good guys that just not going to out and out lie the evil lies. I'm trying to take advantage, but they will lie not to create a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They will lie not to hurt your feelings. They'll do both of those. But women don't, whether they realize it consciously or not, a lie is a lie is a lie.
Even if you tell me you're going to be somewhere, if you tell me you're going to call me at a certain time,
but that's different. That's credibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every time you
credibility.
do something is establishing credibility. If I say, hey, I can help you drive you this place, right? Then it's like, hey, yeah, I can help you with this actress, like a self-tape. Hey, I can help you. I'll come support your show, right? That's 3 times when I said I was going to do something, I did it.
Right.
So it's like, I know that if I hit up Nick for something, more often than not, he's going to come
And
through
that
for me.
happens subconsciously.
Subconsciously.
You put him in that
You become
category.
reliable.
I like
You
that.
become,
And he infinitely becomes more attractive because of it.
I like that.
Whether
I
you,
believe
or
that.
even
I'm
on
trying
a
to be more
subtext.
credible.
I believe that.
I'm trying to be more
So now
credible.
you can have those things. Yeah.
how is
well,
so? How is
I'm trying
so?
to be more
So
credible.
so? How
I
bad was
am.
your credibility back in the day?
As you're talking about this in my
damn.
computer, in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, I have to, whoever the guy is, I have to make sure he builds credibility before I can trust him, before I...
But you also
Never gonna get
got to
ultimate,
make it. You
yeah.
should also, as a woman, you should make it easier for him to be honest. So if you're going to be emotional about something he says because you don't like it, you can acknowledge that you don't like it and then fly. Then what am I going to do is I'm going to avoid the honesty because I don't want to offend you. Or I don't want you to not sleep with me, or I don't want to get your attention.
If the only way the man that likes you gets to see you is on a podcast, it's crazy. You look amazing right now, and then he's only gotta watch like, oh my gosh,
I gotta watch
She got
Tips
time
and
for the
Socials.
podcast. She got time.
She's
for
in the studio this week.
She
She's
wore
not
the
on Zoom.
silk on the pink. She couldn't do coffee with me. It's wild.
She got the heels on too.
Here's what's crazy.
She wore heels.
Even
I'm never going to live this down.
to be in a situation where you
J-Lo's her idol, but I call her Wilo.
Hello.
Wilo. ¿Qué pasa, Wilo?
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo tú estás, Wilo?
Oh,
Hilo.
my God.
¿Qué pasa,
Okay,
baby?
wait,
Amazing
because I
day.
cannot let you guys leave without I need to have a conversation about a couple of things.
Okay.
First thing is situationships.
All right.
Okay.
This was a huge topic in the last episode.
Okay.
Situationship?
Well, explain.
No, I want to know. Do you know what a situationship is? You're married.
I
so
don't.
it's different.
No, I don't. We're married. We're married.
He's stuttering now.
No, I'm never stuttering. The reality is, she's taking care of my son. I do what I want to do, and financially, my responsibility is her, and that's cool. But we don't have that the intimacy and stuff like that. But she's a great mom. But so. What's up?
Yeah, he turning red.
But my point is,
Zoom in on his face right now.
that look mad creepy, right?
What's good?
Yo, what's good, yo?
I'm crying.
And I eat ass. So what's up?
Lead with that always. Always lead with that.
Pussy,
honestly.
ass, and feet, all that.
In that order.
Stop playing. No, but I mean, the situationship is because you're lying. You are in a situation because you like this guy, you want more from him, and you don't want to ask. He's in this situation because he wants to beat, and he doesn't want to. So you both stay. See, like I always say, my honesty sharpens your truth. I can't.
Man, that's a
I
bar,
can't-
son.
If I'm so honest, brutally honest, if you're a liar, you ain't gonna fuck with me because I'm gonna expose you.
You're right.
You're gonna be exposed.
Absolutely.
So you either
I
gonna
love
have
that.
when you deal with me, you're gonna have to operate with me above ground on honest. And niggas know me.
I was young. I was seeing this older woman. I didn't realize what I was doing was giving off boyfriend treatment, and she liked me, and we were kicking it like pretty heavy, but like we weren't like, I'm your man, you're my girl. We're kicking it, we're hanging out, we're seeing each other. I'm at your crib most nights out of the week. We do whatever. And then I went to LA. That's the only reason why it like stopped. That's my first situation. The second one was 2022. I wasn't emotionally ready to be in something else, but I wasn't honest with myself. But I liked the girl so much, I was trying to make it work. I had a situation where I was drunk. I made a couple of mistakes, just being immature, and I had to figure out how to salvage that. But even though I was able to kind of get her and win her back over in a way, it always put a very like it was a hard path to like ultimate like forgiveness or whatever. So we were kind of always doomed, but it just was just toxic and emotionally messy and things like that, and it didn't work out. But those two were situationships where like I wanted the things to work really bad in different ways. One was immature. It was immaturity in different ways, and it was just unfortunate. But
and Fen?
but we weren't together.
Those make sense.
My situations, they actually always been good.
Fen?
Because I've been because I've been honest.
Yeah.
So it's like I've been
Yeah.
honest. So I leave my phone unlocked. I do everything. I say, listen. We all have a few people that's a text message away, and let's just keep it buck and take from that what you want to take from that. But it is what it is. And I know you're a baddie. I'm a Fenny.
You have to say
No,
tell
but,
him, I'm a Fenny.
But my because I became this person of honesty and putting all the cards on the table, I leave my phone unlocked. I don't give a fuck because I have no secrets and it feels I have
It
good
feels
sleeps.
better, yeah,
because I'm not hiding anything.
There's nothing worse than you not being who you say you
Yeah.
are, and then you gotta wake up every day and put your makeup on every day.
I'm good. Like you should take my phone. Like you can scroll. I don't have
respect
anything
that.
but it makes me feel.
This inference, the fact that it is what it's not. I told you what it was, and now because I'm giving
I could
you.
change you.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah. Well, what's gonna happen when I
Yeah,
need you to
no.
fly these two baddies in and book the
And a lot
hotel?
Yep, absolutely. A lot of
Yeah,
women.
And she's
no.
like, oh, I didn't.
Nah.
Well, you
Consider
should.
that.
You should think that.
Consider that.
Because
That was so proper the way you
that's
said it.
happening. That is gonna happen.
So I had a friend who told me that men put women in buckets. The one you marry, the one that you just call when it's convenient, and the friend who's kind of just lingering on for months and years.
Yeah,
That's a
definitely-
corny- that's a
Is it-
corny,
I-
man.
yeah.
All I want to know is it true men, and not all, I know
Right.
there's it's a generalization,
Right.
but do men put women in buckets?
Nah, yo,
I don't-
like
Go ahead.
Dante was saying earlier. Those are like I don't want to speak for you, but I would say
No,
those
no.
are kind of like the lame dudes, right? That put people in buckets because I
But there are men who do it.
You know what I want? I want to walk down the aisle and they say, yo, his wife is all. I'm like, nigga, I'm a hoe too, bro. You crazy? We ill. Like we got our like they trying to.
But let me ask you
Put
this:
their
Do you
fears on
have an
people.
open? Do you do an open relationship? Like, would you have an open relationship?
I don't know. It's hard. It's a little. It's give or take. Like I would probably have something where we're both open about it. Not just it's not a me thing.
No, but I'm
I'm
saying
not trying to
no.
power over.
So I'm currently I have a person now I'm talking to who I
You
was
smash it.
I connected. Yes. I
You
smacked.
getting pussy?
Big getting pussy. But she is
Sipping.
she's married, but she communicated to me off the rip that she was in an open relationship. Right. I normally do not mess with married women or a girl who has a boyfriend. I don't like the karma. I don't believe in me and that kind of messy. But when she communicated that she was in an open relationship, I changed my tune. I said, okay, well, she's honest about that. They have an understanding from what she's told me, so I accepted that. I'm okay in an open relationship. I don't think I'll pursue that, but in my dealing with her, she's been great. She's communicative. We talk a lot. We
Having a good time.
having a good time. So I think that's all fair. I don't look at it like in the same way Dante said, where it's like you're this kind of girl, you're this. It's more like okay,
I don't
say
that.
I have a friend in New York who like if she's not in a relationship, then we hooking up when I'm in town.
But you see,
if she's in something serious, I was like, okay, no problem.
What?
If you want to come to a show, you want to bring him to a show, cool.
And if she's in something serious and she still want to smash, I'm like, it's not my.
I don't do that, though.
It's not
Yeah.
my responsibility to maintain your relationship.
That's true.
This is your relationship. It's your responsibility to maintain your
But
relationship.
the Uptown chicks, they got scary niggas.
There's no girl that I'm gonna talk to that's not gonna learn something she never learned. She's gonna go somewhere she never gone. She's gonna talk to people she never did. She's gonna experience things that she never did. I'm gonna knock it down. We're gonna do what? There's no loss.
Right.
The only loss that she might have is the fact that she may not have all of me. And if she's dope enough, she can have that. The point is, if somebody says, if your guy is 7 foot tall and you say,
Why with the height?
let me, you'll understand.
Are you triggered? Don't be triggered.
If somebody says, oh wow, he's tall, that's not a compliment. That's just a statement of the truth. If you go on stage and you kill, and somebody says you're funny, it's thank you, but yeah, I knew that. Like this whole
That's what you do.
thing
that's
is
what
what
we
we
do.
did.
Yeah.
So nobody gives you what you don't deserve.
Yeah.
In fact, you get less of what you deserve. So if somebody falls in love with you, it's because you're lovable. My
like
thing
that,
is,
bro. I like that.
you gotta define yourself.
First of all,
That's great advice.
clap it up for all the bars he said this episode. I don't know if y'all clapping at home, but you said a lot of
taking another
bars.
sip to that.
You said a lot of gems.
I told you he would be good.
I don't want to close out the show without asking 2 questions.
Sure.
We didn't talk about sex either, right?
Yeah,
You had
we're
some
not
sex
really.
stuff.
Dante talked about sex most of the
I mean, he
episode.
kind of just led with the ass, and we all about. I mean, we all eat ass, so it's cool.
Yeah, we all eat that. That's
Yeah.
a requisite.
Ass
Except for
eaters.
the producer.
Except for the
prerequisite.
producer. You,
No,
Two
but we-
when you turn 30, though,
That's a fact.
you eating
though.
some.
2
All right.
questions, age-old questions. Do all men cheat?
It depends on the guy.
I knew I was about to cheat, and I let go of my ex because it was just getting too hot.
That's
It
just
was getting
righteous.
too-
That's
yeah,
just
it was
a
just a
righteous
righteous
way
I
to
said,
do
yo,
things.
I
I
like
knew,
that.
and
I
I
like
told her,
that.
and she was laughing at me. I said, this is why exact words. I said, do you know how many girls I have to dodge every day to get home to you? And then you treating me like this? And she was like, nah. She like a false.
But
like,
you let her go.
And I let her go. I said,
Okay,
yo,
I respect
Andy,
that.
because it was getting crazy. You know?
But you can't deny that. Like, so this is a funny thing. It's this monogamy, polyamory, marriage. All of those are conscious and sociological constructs.
Their choices?
They're social constructs. So there's a book you could read. It's called Sex at Dawn, and they talk about that prior to human beings, 10,000 years ago, didn't care about paternity until we started farming. And one of the reasons why it happened because we were farming, I mean, maybe this goes a little deep, but whatever. We put pegs down, and now this becomes our farmland, this becomes our resources. And because I have offspring, right? My resources are supposed to go to my children, not to somebody else's children. So that's the first time that we even, as human beings, we had possession where paternity mattered. Because prior, when we were hunter and gatherers and we lived in tribes
Caveman
and stuff,
You could just-
everybody fucked
yeah.
everybody kids
Yeah.
breastfed off of other mothers, and it was just a community. Because so it's not really an ethical thing; it's a sociological thing. But underneath that, we can't deny that we're still primates, we're still mammals, we're still alien, and there are instinctual things. If you believe in evolution or the fact of how there's young men, they have higher levels. Well, not now because I got the pellet, but they have a higher. They have a
The pellet.
Well, the
Okay,
pellet.
moving on.
All right,
So
wait,
the
what's the answer? What's the
So
answer?
the testosterone, your testosterone levels are heavier.
Right.
But you,
No, we really killed that bottle.
and you're young, younger dudes. Their drive is different. It's
crazy.
just you. When I was in my 20s, it's like I was. Like, I mean, my number by the time I was 32 was insane. I mean, I was also stripping and pimping, whatever. But I mean,
That was a question?
No,
but-
it was
No,
about.
it was, no.
But my point is, you can't deny the fact that there's
Instinctual.
testosterones are higher, men are more aggressive, and you see that in
Lustful,
so it's an instinctual thing to a certain extent for a guy. You know, we have the ability to eat meat, but we choose to be vegetarians. So if you choose to be monogamous,
No, this kind of makes sense.
that's fine,
sense.
but that doesn't mean that the desire
Goes
is
away.
not
Yeah.
there.
Do all men cheat, Nick?
In my one relationship, I did not cheat. I know how I can be all about
you
my
can make the
person.
choice.
I can make the choice.
Okay.
not to say that not temptation, not lust, but I can be about my woman.
Have you
You
ever?
said
Have you
emotional.
ever?
In my relationship, I didn't cheat.
Have you
No,
ever
cheated?
cheated?
You
No, in my
stretch.
relationship,
You
I didn't
stretch.
cheat.
Never.
I've only
Never
had one
cheated?
girlfriend. I did cheat on her.
You mentioned something
only
very
had one
important too.
girlfriend?
Yeah, my child's mom. I was a late
Wow.
bloomer.
You
Everything.
mentioned something very important too. You
Yeah.
said not only cheating physical, emotional.
Emotional.
So the DMs, the texting, the
Yeah.
whatever, you did say that.
Yeah.
So
Thank
like,
you for
did
pointing
you
that out.
Yeah. No, I had homegirls I was like friendly with that I still text and message or whatever like that.
But it
And
wasn't.
at times it was a cause of an argument because maybe it was like inappropriate in her mind that late at
Giving
night
them
I'll be
hope.
hanging out with friends. But I didn't do anything where I was like making an advance on a woman. I just was just communicating with them. That's just a difference of opinion. Doesn't make me wrong or her right or whatever. But yeah, I was a bachelor pretty much, teenager through 27, 28 when I got with my girl, and then that was my first real relationship. Like I said, a couple situationships, but mostly single.
in a perfect world, right? This is kind of like, again, my situation. I can only speak from my stories, right? I'm a guy that like laptop unlocked, phone unlocked. The moment we start locking shit, okay,
Time's
something's up. You know what I'm saying?
But what
So-
happens that
Right.
makes that
So-
like because you
Yeah,
bring
what
that up a lot,
happened?
Finn. So my thing
Have
is
you
like,
ever cheated?
have you ever cheated, Finn?
No, yeah, back when I was young,
Yeah.
when I was like my people in my hood told me to cheat. I was raised by my block. They said, yo, I remember I had a girlfriend at the time. They was like, yo, you're not gonna marry her, man. I was in 8th grade. She was a 10th grader, right? No, my boys on the block said, listen, you're not gonna marry her. I told him I was fucking with this
Taking
this
her to the
girl.
movies and shit.
No. I was fucking with this girl. She was like the best in the basketball team, right? And she wanted me to come over. And I told them, I said, yo, I know what that means. They said, Fan, you not gonna marry the other girl. You better. And he punched me in the stomach. I'm holding the gate, fucking like.
Wow.
So this is like how I was
Telling you to
programmed
knock
to
down
like,
girls.
yo, just
Yeah.
notches on belts. Like, yo, let's grab them, And then I had to relearn shit.
Or unlearn.
Unlearn shit and teach myself new ways. But
Well, thanks for sharing that.
yeah,
That's
but
pretty deep.
Yeah,
that
nobody
is
was punching me,
actually-
forcing me to
Yeah,
knock
nah,
down
he
women.
was
but
like,
no,
yo, he was
nobody
like, yo,
did. I didn't have
no,
to
they
get,
hit you with the,
tortured.
they hit you with the, are you gay? You're not going over there. Bow. I said, oh, and
Yeah,
I
a
went
lot of
over
toxic
there, and then
masculinity around
and
you,
then
fam.
everything that happened.
It's so tragic. son.
It's so whack.
That's
But I'm glad you
wild.
survived this, though.
I feel
I am-
sorry that
I
you
am
had to
too.
go
I
smash
am
the other
too.
chick.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good night,
And
but
then,
it was
you
like,
know,
but
they
that
were
was
so
the moment
mean
where
to
I
you.
was
They were
like,
so mean to you.
They were
yeah,
just.
there was this,
Can we
So
get a
I-
second to just
I-
get a moment
Yeah,
of
take
Moment,
a-
let's take a drink to
well,
Finn.
Take a drink.
I want.
Well,
Have you
my
ever
chest
cheated?
wasn't
Have you
as
ever cheated?
developed as it is now. That shit hurt.
Can I ask though? Have you ever cheated?
You ever cheated?
No, never, not once.
No.
That shit hurt.
That's because
Don't let them-
She
don't
won't
let
even
them-
call nobody on the phone.
Right.
How you gonna-
Talking. I'm a
how you
busy-
gonna suck
I'm a
somebody
busy
else's
girl.
dick? You
I
don't
have
wanna
ti-
talk and
I
phone on
don't have
the
time
phone.
for all
That's
that.
cool.
that's wild.
I'm too busy.
Have
for
you
all
ever
that
been in?
nonsense.
How many relationships, like serious relationships, have you been in?
Do you want me on your podcast? Because you're asking me a lot of questions.
We are asking. Are we
I
not on
have
open
been
book?
married twice.
Married twice and never cheated.
No.
That's fire. That's me. Sheesh.
I mean, that's dope. I mean, but it's,
like
it's
that.
also, let's be honest too, like Dominican culture, it doesn't give space for that. Like you're not supposed to.
They fucking 7 times a day.
I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying as a woman, you
How?
can't.
This nigga drained.
You can't.
Yo, he leaving the house
You
drained.
cannot be a Dominican woman and be like, I cheat on my husband. Or, that's just not.
They're more secretive.
That's not open. Right. It's a secret. Right. But I'm saying it's not. You can't.
You making
You
it
can't.
somebody
I
else the
do what
fried
I do.
plantains?
You
That's
can't be
wild.
like that.
If you give somebody else the fried
did you cook for
plantains
another
with the
nigga?
sauce,
No.
Oh, you- okay.
That cooking that's a serious.
It's a
That's-
sacred
no,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
cook for that man,
nah.
what
Mature fan never cheated. That's what I'm saying.
I want to wrap up the episode the same way I wrapped up the girls.
Okay. Okay.
What does love mean to you?
You want to go first, or you want to go first?
Ben, let's start first.
All right, I'll start first. Love means somebody that I can share a space with, where we can be organically ourselves and create amazing stories and memories together.
Oh,
That would
thanks.
be love to me.
That's
You know,
awesome.
with no judgment in how you are, who you are.
I like how he puts the wrinkles in his forehead.
the smile.
Oh,
He does the
no,
thing,
that was
yeah.
good.
You know,
that was,
and
thank
this-
you.
man,
Thanks.
this-
That was
this is
beautiful.
just-
Nick.
Love to me is absolutely laughing with each other. I love laughing with my partner, joking about whatever, not being able to have a filter on any kind of conversation. Love to me is us being able to just like share moments with our families together and like that be all good. Dancing, having
It's
a
not
good
always
time.
possible, but
Right, it's not always possible. So when you have that, it's rare. So like being able to go out and dance together, be able to be silly together, talk shit about people.
I love people watching.
That's the best shit.
That's
We can just go
fun.
shit on somebody like, look at these dumb motherfuckers.
That's
over there.
fun.
That's love to me, and then an amazing intimacy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. The sex gotta
I
be
would
there.
say it's somebody that I just don't want to. I don't get tired of being around them.
Yeah.
That I continuously enjoy it, and even if they're not here. Like they could be in the house, and
you have that.
I'm good with you. Yo, where you? All right. And I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
the
fire.
comfort of the fact that I could be who I am, because
That's fire.
I am unapologetically gonna be who I am. It's just, and you either gonna have to eat it or move, or
I
get
respect
back. And I think, but I also feel that my intention is I get up every morning with the intention on kindness and generosity. Being honest and authentic, being credible, keeping my word,
Empathy.
and being empathetic of other people's. And I feel like if you practice that as a person, you can't be a better human being. It's two things that you're never gonna be able to live your life and not do. Is you always have to give forgiveness and ask for forgiveness, because none of us are perfect.
Right. Grace
So
is
if I
always-
can be with somebody who's not offended by the fact that I am who I am and willing, that's where I'm at. And I've had that where I didn't have it reciprocated. But I find that, and I'm older than everybody here. There's a certain level of maturity that I have about this, where like I'll have a lot of old joints hit me back, like from the 90s, and be like, oh, how you doing?
90s, damn.
I saw you on this show in Black. My daughter just graduated from Howard. My baby, and I'm like, yeah, is it Cousin Pussy? Like that's what this call.
Right.
This is what the call is
right,
about.
right. So-
It's you.
That's fire.
You have moved on. You got married, yet, and you're calling me back to like, can we not do
Yeah,
this?
the dance.
The dance to this is like you calling me because you're trying to get me to knock the dust off. You remember me from when I was knocking it off. Let's give it another. But this facade is
Why I gotta be
everybody
dust?
is so dishonest. And so the fact that I can be honest with somebody and they be honest with me and they're not offended, because I'm gonna do it anyway. But if they respect that and not offended by what it is, that's
fire.
I love that.
Organically
Love.
yourself,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you,
living in
Fen.
your world. Thank you.
Thank
and
you,
I had an
Dante.
amazing
Welcome.
time
Thank
with
you, Nick.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I always wrap up the show with some sort of mantra, quote, piece of advice. And honestly,
Okay.
from this episode, I get be authentic,
Yes, for
Be
sure.
empathetic.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
be
sure.
honest,
Be
And
honest,
credible.
credible.
credible,
For sure.
and
That credible.
communicate.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you guys for being
That was
here.
every-
And thank you, loves, for joining us on this segment of Sips and Socials, sponsored by Ava Creations for our beautiful glasses and
Yes.
Sweetwater Moonshine, which obviously
We killed that
that
motherfucking
shit
shine.
fire!
That moonshine hitting.
Nah, send it to the crib ASAP. I need some cigars, and we lit. If we had cigars, shit, man.
Thank you, moonshine.
Man,
Thank
through
you,
the moon.
Desta.
Thank you.
What
What
do
an
you think?
amazing time.
Fire.
What an amazing time.